Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hunter with Rebel Outdoors, and wow, what a year it has been. So usually at the beginning of every year, I kind of go over like all the different plans for the following year. And so I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a review of comparing all the things I was trying to do this year versus what actually happened. Man, it was a crazy, crazy year. In January, we ended up trading the Ram in for a Jeep Gladiator, starting a whole new build over, and I had a ton of different things that I was and still am trying to do with that thing, but year took a weird turn, so none of that stuff on the Jeep really happened. So like usually, my spring season is super busy with one of our little side gigs that we do here, so not a lot of time for adventuring. I did try to get out a decent amount and do a lot of turkey hunting this year. Usually I turkey hunt with a shotgun, but this year I kind of wanted to change it up and try with a bow. And the turkeys got the better of me this year. But I knew that there was fall turkey tags that we could get, so I was thinking, well, maybe we'll try our luck then. And nope, that didn't happen either. And speaking of bows, never thought that I would be getting rid of my Hoyts and switching to a Mathews. So now I'm no longer a Hoyt guy. I've got a new Mathews Lift X in the beautiful Kuiu Verde. That is going to be pretty interesting to see all the things that I'm hoping to do next year, but we're not going to get into that. Ended up having a lot of bad luck with the bow, from it not being tuned properly to it having a limb crack. And just that was kind of really the theme of the whole year. Just a lot of things going wrong that were unexpected. Ended up on Father's Day getting in that accident with my Jeep that, again, was just going to go ride some trails and enjoy Father's Day with the family, and that ended up happening. And then it ended up taking a little over 2 months for the vehicle to get fixed right in the prime time of summer, so that killed a lot of my adventuring. Wasn't able to go on the BDR trip that I had planned with some friends of mine. And then there was, I want to say, another trip that I had to end up canceling because I didn't have the Jeep. I was trying to make it out to Drummond Island this year, and that kept getting pushed back, and then eventually winter came, tried again, and just plans kind of fell through. So, of course, they ended up damaging Marblehead to make it not what it used to be, so that kind of ruins the fun. And I also don't think it's a Jeep Badge of Honor trail anymore, so that's pretty lame. Didn't get to go to the Moore Expo this year, but that one really wasn't too worried about, just because it's an expo. It's not like there's a ton of changes and stuff going on with that. Besides, it's one of those things you can go like every couple of years and probably be fine. And then kind of late spring, early summer, we ended up finding a place that we wanted to purchase. So I was very busy in building a fence in the backyard and trying to finish all these home projects so we could get our house up on the market to purchase what we thought was going to be our forever home. Well, the sellers on that end were kind of weary of just the conditions of us not having sold our house and wanting to buy them, having the offer contingent, and so it ended up working out. And ironically, when we found another house, they ended up contacting us saying, hey, we want to accept your deal, but kind of too late then. So that brought us into the house that we're in now, which it's not as cool as the other one, but it's still pretty cool. Definitely an upgrade from the last one. We have a little bit of acreage here, and we have a big pole barn that I'm going to make a big, pretty much playhouse for me. Even if I still had the Ram, I would actually be able to park it inside, which I'm pretty stoked about. Now, the pole barn didn't have any power, so I had planned to, before the ground froze, which is froze now, dig a line and run power out there and get lights and outlets and all kinds of stuff hooked up. Well, I kept procrastinating and that didn't happen, so that's going to be a spring project for 2025. I did end up getting way more into archery than I thought I would ever get, doing a lot of 3D shoots. We did some HHA USA events, which was really fun. I did my first tack up in UP. That was super cool. Even with all the issues I was having with the bow this year, it was still pretty fun. And again, never expected to end up getting a new bow this year, let alone switching to a Mathews, but I'm loving it so far. I was also really sure, because I hadn't drawn anything the last few years, that I would eventually end up drawing a hunt out west, but didn't end up happening this year either, so I'm really hoping in next year, which was fine. I knew with moving and then some of the other overland trips I had planned that year, it wasn't the biggest deal to end up missing out on an out west hunt this year. But as far as the overland trips we did get to go on, I got to go up to Core, which I hadn't been last year. So it was super nice to get back up there, do some off-roading, some trails that I wasn't able to before because of the size of the Ram. Meet up with friends is always super cool going up there, so I had a absolute blast. I also got to test out the stock capability of the Jeep down at Overland the Red this year, which again, super cool place down there in the Red River Gorge. A lot of really cool wheeling. Definitely build up my confidence with the Jeep, tackling some pretty fun trails down there. I also tried out a couple different things like the in-bed drawer system that I made and ended up not liking that, and kind of switching not everything that I had originally planned to do with the Jeep, but pretty much everything in the back end. And I think I now have a good plan of what's going to happen with this upcoming year. But again, because of all the different home projects that we've been doing, things like that, moving, and some other trips, I wasn't able to do a whole lot with the Jeep this year, which I was pretty bummed about because that was definitely a big thing that I wanted to do, was get out more, do more camping, do more trails, things like that, especially explore my home state of Michigan. And this isn't really an addition for this year, but it is for next year. Found out that my wife was pregnant again, so now we have another little munchkin on the way. And that is going to be really fun upcoming to have our current little one grow up with another one close to her age. As far as hunting season go, I really wanted to take a buck on my own property because I've never really had my own property to hunt. Now I do. So that was a goal. Deer season for us is going to end probably a few days after this video will drop, so if I did get something, it'll be posted on the Instagram, but so far, nothing yet. Bow hunting is one of those things where it's definitely harder than rifle hunting or crossbow hunting, just because you have to get so close, and there's a bunch of other factors kind of mixed into all that, which I'll probably be making a video about later on here. Never did end up getting a fall turkey either, and haven't shot any does, so it's been a crazy season. But next Tuesday is New Year's Eve, or this upcoming Tuesday from when the video will be posted. But didn't post a video last week because it was a holiday season. I was enjoying time with family. I wanted to get something out to you guys before the new year began. So if you have not subscribed and you're into all kinds of different outdoor content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. A like is always appreciated. Hit the little bell notification, get notified when I post videos on Sundays. And until then, we will see you guys in 2025.